All right, good morning. This is R.J. Regan, the trucker dad, coming at you here this morning from Orlando, Florida. I had just dropped off my truck from L.A. to Miami, and I got to spend a little time with my niece in Miami. Had some oysters and some tacos, and it was good seeing her. I hadn't seen her in a few years. But anyway, I was going through a feed last night, and I saw this reel, I guess, and it was Kevin O'Leary, and he's, I guess, a billionaire at Shark Tank, and he was interviewed by a guy, and he started talking about this thing called the signal-to-noise ratio. And here's a brief clip. You can just see it.
Is real data from real situations of real CEOs I've worked with and learned from, because I used to work for guys like Steve Jobs and others in my career. And here's what I learned. There's a concept that he understood that very few people focused on back then in the early 90s of signal to noise ratio. What was so brilliant about Jobs that I tell every CEO now, his vision of signal was the top 3 to 5 things you have to get done in the next 18 hours. Not your vision for the business next week or next month or next year, just the next 18 hours you're awake. You're going to get those 3 things done that you have deemed critical for your mission. They must get done today. Anything that stops you from doing that is the noise. So this signal to noise ratio to be successful for Steve Jobs was 80-20. 80 signal, 20 noise. And I knew that to be true with him because he would email me at 2:30 in the morning and expect me to get back to him. He was right. And the only other person that I've seen that has a higher ratio than that is Elon Musk. He has no noise. He does not deal with noise. He is 100% signal. The guy is just 60 seconds of every minute, 60 minutes of every hour. The 18 hours he's awake, it's all signal.
So in essence, what he's saying is that there's a few things that have a big impact, and you need to focus on those things and let all of the other things kind of fall by the wayside. And, it's really interesting to me is over the years you realize that there's really nothing new under the sun. This is just a new way of saying the same thing, which is, the 80-20 rule or the Pareto principle. And if you're not familiar with the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, it's that 20% of the activity always accounts for about 80% of the results. And you can find that in any aspect of your life. Whether it's business or your health or your relationships, there's 20% of the things that you do that result in 80% of the results. And another way of saying that, there was a professor years ago that used an empty jar, and he took rocks and pebbles and sand. And the point is that if you put the sand and pebbles in the jar first, there's never enough room for the big rocks, the important things in life. So the point is, put the big rocks in the jar first, and then you can fill in with pebbles and sand, and then you can even add water on top of that. But make sure you're making the first thing, and do those things first before all of the other stuff. Before you start scrolling and doing the social media or wasting time, make sure you're getting those 20% things that need to get done, and you know what they are. Make sure you get those things done first. And you can either do it now, or you can have a different philosophy and say, we're just gonna let that slide. And these things are all reminded me of stories back from in the Bible. Moses is talking about in the book of Psalms. It says, "Teach us to number our days, so that we may present to you a heart of wisdom. Number your days so that you can be wise." Pay attention to how you spend your time, how you spend your days, your weeks, your months, your years. It slips by. Number them so that you can be wise in what you're doing. Nothing new. This Bible stuff was written thousands of years ago, and now we've got the signal noise ratio, the Pareto principle, 80-20, but there's nothing new under the sun. The other thing that I see people do is they tend to live either in the past or in the future. They're spending too much time living in regret about what they did yesterday, or they're worried about how things are going to happen in the future. Don't worry about the past or the future. Just stay in the present, focus on it now. And the great master Jesus said that in the book of Matthew, in Matthew 6:34, said, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will take care of itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." So the point is, from Trucker Dad this morning, is make the main thing, do those things first, stay in the present, get rid of the junk from the past, don't play this record in your head over and over again with regret, and don't overly concern yourself about the future. Just stay in the present. You've got some stuff in front of you that needs to be taken care of. You know what it is. Get that stuff done first, and then do the scrolling, then do the screwing around, then hang out with your buddies. Make the first thing, and get it done. This is Trucker Dad coming at you from Orlando, Florida. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.